Shalom, shalom, shalom to everyone watching. This is Rabbi Moshe Otero with the Ways of Israel, and want to welcome you this morning as we started a little bit late, but we want to move forward and continue our series of studies of Sefer Haikkarim, Rabbi Joseph Albo. And in this morning, we're going to be covering the idea of everything that is in the potential must pass from potentiality to actuality. In chapter 3 of Sefer Haikkarim, book number 3, we look at Rabbi Albo's statements and his incredible insights as to establishing basic ideas and concepts within Judaism. So let's get started. Everything that is potential must pass from potentiality to actuality. And if it does not, then its potential exists in vain, as though it were not at all. It is clear, therefore, that if a man's ultimate perfection and purpose, which, as we said previously, his potential were not realized, the existence of the human species would be in vain, for man would have no pre-eminence over the other animal species. And we must therefore explain what this purpose is. The man may endeavor to attain it. According to the opinions of the philosophers, the ultimate purpose is the attainment of the intellectual knowledge or intelligibles. They may say that the intellect that is required by means of it literally survives after death. This takes place when the intellect, the cognizing subject, and the intelligible objects are consolidated in one substance and are identified with intelligibles in the active intellect. They say, is the ultimate purpose and are identified with the intelligible and active intellect. And this, they say, is the ultimate purpose of man and the happiness of his soul. This also maintains that except in this way we can not conceive of any survival of the soul, and therefore the existence of human species would be in vain. The human species would have no preeminence over animal, and the perfection of species of which we spoke in the previous video would be in vain. This is the opinion of the philosophers concerning human perfection. It's also the opinion of many Jewish theologians, as stated in their works. They adopted this opinion because they thought that in the opinion of the Bible, for Moses says that I may know thee in order that I may find favor in thine eyes. From this, they say, it seems that only we know, or he who knows find favors in God's sight, and no one else. But this is not necessarily implied in the text, which only signifies that he who knows stands on high place. Then the one who does not know, but nothing else. The expression that I may know thee refers to God, and no one can know God outside of himself. We must therefore examine this question briefly, enough to give the believer an idea as to our purpose in this work. If we examine this opinion, we shall find that it's absurd in itself, and it's in a disagreement with the divine Torah. For the philosophers cannot by any means avoid the conclusion that the existence of man is vain, thus meeting it with the same difficulty which they are endeavoring to escape. The purpose is either one that cannot be attained, or one that cannot be attained, but if it cannot be attained, then the existence of the human species is vain, and man has no preeminence over the ass or the pig. And if it can be attained, it's clear that neither or all the majority of mankind can attain it, but only 1 in 1,000, 1 in a generation, like Socrates or Plato. But the other persons who have not such knowledge as they, and have not reached that high place, will be, in their opinion, in the position of the ass and the pig. There is an animal. In a sense, according to their opinion, and they have not attained human purpose. The existence of the world, therefore, be vain, except the one man of his generation. And if that happens, that there is a generation without a man like Socrates, for example, the existence of the whole species at the same time would be in vain. And thus we see that they are subject to the same objections which they endeavor to avoid. For according to this theory, it would follow that all of God's work at a certain time, and the greater part of his work at all times, never attains or can, by any possibility, attain its purpose. This is the something that cannot be charged to any perfect agent, how much less to the cause of causes, who is far above such limitations. Moreover, even according to their opinion, those are the ideas which the wise man or the unique one in his generation apprehends may not lead to his human purpose and perfection. For knowledge concerning the elements and the objects of nature does not confer essential perfection upon the soul, even according to the opinions of the philosophers. Certainly this is true of the mathematical knowledge. For what perfection can the soul attain? By knowing that the angles of a triangle are equal to the right angles, or that the external angles of a triangle is equal to the sum of two opposite internal angles, or that when you add the rule of the inscribed decagon to the side of the inscribed hexagon, the resulting line is divided into a main proportional of two extremes. The knowledge gives perfection of the soul only so far as it's in the introduction and the means of understanding the heavenly objects and the causes upon which the natural objects depend, but it does not of itself give perfection to the soul, and therefore the soul cannot attain or acquire eternity from such knowledge. David calls attention to this fact in the 19th Psalm. The statement is there that there is made that human speculation cannot make inference from the motions of the spheres, because we see that the heavens move continuously. As every moving thing requires a mover, we infer that the existence of God who moves them and the being enormous bodies, they point to the mighty force of their mover, and thus indicating his glory and power. This is the meaning of the expression, the glory of El, or God. The word El indicating the power in the Hebrew as an expression, Yesh le'el yadim, which denotes power. Similarly, the firmaments, the part of the atmosphere in which rains and snows and hails and thunder and lightning originates, also points to a great power of God. It's possible also that the word firmament alludes to the diurnal sphere, which Ezekiel also calls firmaments, as in the statement, and over the heads of the living creatures was the likeness of a firmament, the like of colors and terrible ice stretched forth over their head above. The Psalms continues to describe how the heavens and the firmaments declare the glory of God and the work of his hands by saying, day unto day utters speech. This meaning, or the meaning, is that it declares the glory of God through the diurnal motions which are visible